My name's Noel Gregory Nannup. That was given by my parents, and my peers tell me I'm a storyteller. My purpose is to let people know that there is an ancient culture here that has an incredible connection to a spiritual realm that is now known as Aboriginal Australia. And of course, I can only speak spiritually for the southwest because that's where my dad comes from. However, my mother is Ngulama Injabandi, and the Ngulama Injabandi people are from Irramugadoo, which everyone knows today as Roebourne. So when I go up there, I've got a large extended family, and here, of course, a network of family right across. But what I focus on a lot in my life is to let other people know about Aboriginal people. I was born in mid-west coast called Geraldton, and of course born into a large family, 7 girls and 3 boys. I come in at number 8. While we weren't wealthy in relation to having funding and, material things, we were certainly rich in spirituality. As I learned that and grew into this position, I then began to focus solely on my purpose for being here, and that is to tell people about my dreaming, which is the Milky Way. And thankfully, my parents gave me the ability to be a person that is calm, a person who thinks carefully, and a person who can articulate a conversation or a story so that people would want to listen to it. And that within itself is something that I don't take for granted. I don't wake up in the morning and say, well, yeah, I'm going to tell a story today. I don't do that. What I do is I focus on, okay, Spirit, I need to know what it is you want me to do today. And am I ready to do that? And then what happens is you channel. When you're in that zone, you just channel what it is that you are meant to share. That's what I learnt from Mum and Dad, as well as Uncle Thomas, that's Dad's younger brother. And for me, he was the consummate storyteller. I couldn't wait whenever Uncle Thomas came to our place to just sit and listen to him. And I remember it was the 13th of February 1956. I remember it that clearly because the next day, the 14th of February, was what he termed the end of our year and the beginning of our year in the ancient way. And he explained the 7 sisters were a constellation up in the sky, and he pointed to them. They were directly up here. And as he pointed to them, he said, Noel, I've come here to share this with you, and it's your duty to remember it and carry it on. This is the beginning of our new year, our ancient new year. Not the way it was on the calendar that is here now. That's an imposition from the Northern Hemisphere. He said, this is it. I'll stop. Let this go. As you think about the medium of expressing yourself through some form of art, whether it's the written form, whether it's the painted or drawn form, or whether it's through the voice or through the dance, this is the power of the medium. Everyone can express themselves the way that they feel. So if we take that one step further and we look at how that might be used to deal with complex issues, then of course you get down to the finite detail. An example of that would be out here in this part of the environment, everything I see is a totem. So through a totem system, we have this connection to everything. Every child is born pure. What that child learns in its backyard at home determines how it behaves in the society it grows up in. And there are some children that learn some horrendous things about Aboriginal people, and they still see us as being lesser because that's what they learned. And the modern world now realises the first 3 years of a baby's life, what it learns in those first 3 years will stay with it forever. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty about the importance of words, because we're talking about cognitive in there. And the only way to get that in there is through the ears and sociology. And for us as Aboriginal people, and this is also part of why I share stories with people, when you look at the way this country is governed and has always been governed, you have a right wing and a left wing. It does not matter which one of those are in government. We as Aboriginal people will always tumble all the way back down to where we came from. And when you change government, you've spent 5 years working with one government and one minister and working up a relationship, only to have that minister go and be replaced by someone else. Boom, 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 all the way back to the bottom. You see what I mean? We've been in that situation. So through verbosity, the ability to talk to people using words, you can get them to understand. And you can get them to see our plight. You can get them to know that, hey, something wrong's been done here. What can I do about it? That's the beauty of art. Whatever medium, whatever format that art takes, that's the importance of it. And once you've got that power, you suddenly realise that you're an agent. Not necessarily an agency, but an agent. Because the next component to it is change. Because that's the power of what you're aiming at, is bringing change. And that's the depth of it. When you have the opportunity to be a storyteller, that gives you a really wide range of subjects that you can actually talk about. For me, I had to have it in a way that it was a sequential order. So it's a holistic package from birth right through their life until death. The first breath, the little lungs expand for the very first time. It must be painful, and I'm glad I can't remember it. The mother knows she has to be cruel to be kind and let that little one cry. The longer that little one cries, the stronger those lungs will be. So first, you become a survivor. Then you learn how to live. And as you're learning how to live, the whole of your community is giving you the things that you need. And that includes the cognitive, that includes the nutrients you have to take in through your diet. So you're nurturing your body and your mind, and you become one with everything out here. And then, of course, there's the final stage. You have to learn how to die. Death was not feared, it was embraced. As you learned how to die, you were also in your eldership. It's just this incredible quantum physics, if you like, because it's a vibration, and everything is a vibration. And the only way you can describe it is by using that quantum word, because people who are trained that way and learn that way will not understand dreaming. And they'll say, yes, yes, yes. They don't have a clue. But when you can express it in a way that they do understand it, then it changes them completely, forever. And I see many, many, many times people who would just go, wow, I get it. And that for me is the reward for what I do as a storyteller.